Jxmyhighroller. Yes, that Jimmy. The guy with 2.5 million subscribers. To me, he's nothing but a glorified LeBron sexual. Now, if you're very familiar with Jimmy, you may know that he says Michael Jordan's the GOAT. So how can he be a LeBron sexual? Well, it's very weird, but very simple. Two of the biggest LeBron sexuals that I have covered on my own channel, Jamal Bethea and the Turd Man, or the Birdman, they also said Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Yet, their videos are so biased for LeBron, it's extremely hard to listen to. Now, believe it or not, this video that Jimmy made, no exaggeration, it might be worse than both of theirs. Now, some disclaimers. The video is from 8 years ago, so you may be thinking, come on man, how you gonna judge that, bro? That's so long ago. Jimmy's improved so much since then. No, he actually hasn't, because a lot of the terrible takes he says back then, he still says them now. Also, Jimmy himself will discuss the video, but he doesn't seem to take it back. He didn't delete it. He just says how dog water the production is. I don't know about you guys, but when I hear that, I don't believe that has anything to do with the actual content or context of what he's saying throughout the video. Also, let's just be real. He's the biggest NBA channel in the YouTube world, so he deserves all of the criticism. But yeah, this is Jimmy himself talking about debatably the worst LeBron video I've ever heard in my life.
About 5 years ago, I uploaded my first basketball-related video onto this channel. The title of that video, Is LeBron the GOAT? You can still watch this video today, but since it's an absolute dog water of a production, I highly recommend you steer clear of it. To summarize the video, I gave 10 reasons why LeBron would retire as the GOAT. Fast forward 5 years and thousands of hours of watching games, collecting data, and gathering context in this sport that we love. I've since changed my ways and realized that Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. But my original assessment from 5 years ago hasn't completely changed.
Outside of him saying MJ's the GOAT now, he stands by that video from 8 years ago, right? So everything else can and most definitely will be used against him.
Terrible teams. LeBron has had his fair share of bad coaches and even worse teams. As of late, LeBron has been getting help from his teammates in Cleveland and previously in Miami. However, during his first 6 years in the NBA, LeBron got little to no help from his team. Poor management and bad draft picks left the king to fend for himself. We're not talking about average teams or even slightly below average teams. We're talking about a horrendous team. A team that was so bad that when LeBron took his talents to Miami in 2010, the Cleveland Cavaliers went from the best record in the NBA with 61 wins to the second worst record in the NBA the very next season with 19 wins.
What about Ilgauskas leaving? Or Delonte West? They weren't there either. They were hit with injuries immensely. Key guys like Harajao, Mo Williams, Anton Jameson, it's pretty difficult to win like that. He still says stuff like this. Literally, he still refers to some of LeBron's teammates or teams or rosters as piss poor.
LeBron has spent many years carrying the load of bad rosters and seemingly incompetent teammates, part of which is his own fault for trying to play GM and putting together piss-poor rosters.
If you're not proud of the product, explain what's wrong with it, or you might as well just get rid of it. If you recognize how dog water it is, why wouldn't you delete it? So as far as your words and takes, I guess I'm only left to believe that you actually stand behind this atrocity. Because you said dog water production, not dog water takes. Because what is coming up has to be one of the most dog water NBA takes I've ever heard.
beat the best of his era. The Dynasty Spurs and Tim Duncan, Kobe in his prime, Dirk Nowitzki, Primetime Thunder with Durant, Westbrook, Harden, and the 73-9 Warriors with the only unanimous MVP in league history. LeBron beat them all. There hasn't been one star or dynasty LeBron hasn't been able to dominate during his time in the NBA. Dirk Nowitzki, LeBron beat them all.
Just wow. I don't remember Kobe and LeBron ever meeting up, because if you're talking about regular season, nobody cares. I could have sworn, Dirk Nowitzki beat LeBron and the Heat in the finals. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I could be blunt, what the are you talking about?
You could not have written a better career if you tried. On the other hand, despite his success, LeBron really got the short end of the deal many times throughout his career. He spent his first 7 seasons in the NBA playing for a team that could not have cared less about building a coherent team around him. He spent 4 straight finals going toe-to-toe with the most dominant dynasty in modern NBA history outside of Jordan's Bulls. While Michael was surrounded by players who were all willing to buy into their system, LeBron has spent many years carrying the load of bad rosters and seemingly incompetent teammates.
I might crash out, I might not. Did LeBron not have Chris Bosh and Kevin Love buy into the system? Those 2 franchise players, #1 options, Hall of Famers. You just completely skipped the Heatles chapter. Where he has a Hall of Fame coach that he's bumping into trying to get fired. You do realize LeBron credits that Hall of Fame coach with being the mastermind behind Chris Bosh going to the 5 and going from a 25-12 to being relegated to a corner 3. Oh yeah, and that one top 3, one of the best two-way players ever at the 2 guard. Let's not forget him. And a guy like Pat Riley, but who's counting? He leaves all of that and gets another franchise player big man, Hall of Fame Kevin Love. The guy that scored more than 30 points in 1 quarter, but he's just a part of a piss poor roster, right? Oh yeah, and a tremendous talent like Kyrie Irving, who's in his absolute prime. Goes to another team. I understand he doesn't want to rebuild, but let me guess. That was just a piss poor roster, right? That's why he didn't make the playoffs. But what does he get gifted again? Another Hall of Fame franchise, Anthony Davis. Russell Westbrook. This guy has the nerve to call all-stars like Big Z, Mo Williams, Anton Jameson, Zerbiak. These guys are all-stars, and even a Hall of Famer like Ben Wallace. Even a guy like Larry Hughes averages over 20 points per game while being on the all-defensive first team. These guys are below average? Horrendous? Do you even know ball? Seems like you just want to know LeBron's balls. You are a LeBron sexual, yet you're the biggest NBA channel. That's horrendous.
And he and the Bulls peaked right as the dominant teams from the 80s and early 90s, like the Lakers, Celtics, and Pistons, began to fade away.
Elimination game taking center stage, with the Heat celebrated Big 3 coming off their most significant win to date, a Game 4 win in Boston. And the Celtics Big 3 facing their biggest playoff deficit since coming together 4 years ago.
Celtics began to fade away. Peaked right as the dominant teams began to fade away.